All right, welcome back. Hi, fourth graders. This is Mr. Steinberg. In today's video, I'm going to show you two different ways in which we can use multiplication, but in a pretty cool method that we call partial products. One thing we need to remember that anytime you are multiplying two numbers, um, when you find the answer, it's called a product. So anytime you multiply numbers, you're finding a product. Um, Long time ago, the way that we were taught to multiply like two-digit numbers or three-digit numbers times one or two digits, it was kind of a traditional way of doing things. But I'm not going to show you that method here. I'm going to show you kind of a new way in which we use place value to find partial products so that we can come up with a final product. And I'll do my best to label things as I go. So my first example says 429 times 5. So what we do here, first step right here, number one, is we're gonna put all of these this number right here into expanded form. So we're gonna write this one in expanded form first. So 429 looks like 400 plus 20 plus 9. And the reason I do that is because it helps me remember that when I multiply the single digit, the number 5, when I multiply this 5 by each of these numbers, I know which place value I'm multiplying with, so I know how many zeros I need to add to my products, my partial products. So I come over here, I rewrite 429 times 5. First one is 5 times 9. Well, 9 is in the ones column, so it's just 5 times 9. So there's my 45. I'm not going to show you the skip counting or the repeated addition. Again, if you need a multiplication chart, that's fine. Just know that 9 times 5 or 5 times 9 is 45. Now I'm going to multiply 5 times 2. But remember, if I look at my 2, when I broke it up into expanded form, my 2 really represents 20. So it's not just 5 times 2, it's 5 times 20. So if I have the number 5 20 times or the number 20 5 times, I reach 100. Also, I know 5 times 2 is 10, but in the tens column, there's a 0, so it's the number 10 with an extra 0. Then I move over to the hundreds column. I have the number 5 times 4. I know that if I have 5 times 4, the number 5 4 times, that's 20. But I'm really multiplying times 400 because the 4 is in the hundreds place value. So I do have 20, but because it's in the hundreds place value, I have 2 extra zeros. So the number 400 right here times 5, or the number 400 5 times, is 2000. So now all I have to do here is I just have to add these products, and all of these are called partial products. And they're called partial because they're the products of each individual place value. So we multiply times the ones place value, then the tens, then the hundreds. So I take my partial product from the ones, my partial product from the tens, and my partial product from the hundreds, and I add them together. So I just have 5, and then 4, and then 1, and then 2. So 429 times 5 is 2,145. So again, the reason we use expanded form because it helps us identify which place values that we're multiplying with. So let's take a look at the next one over here. The other way that is being shown to us in our textbook or our curriculum is known as an array. And arrays are basically, it's kind of like a graphic organizer for numbers. So again, we have an example of 932 times 6. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rewrite it in expanded form, but I'm gonna write it over here with the array. So my large place value is 900, and I break that up into 900 plus 30 plus 2, and I'm gonna multiply all of those times 6. So I'll put the 6 on the side. So the first one, when I multiply times the ones column, right? 6 times 2, we know 6 times 2 is 12, so I put the 12 right there. That's my first partial product right there. And then I'm going to multiply 6 times 30, because remember, it's 6 times 3. I guess I could have rewritten it, right? It's 932 times 6. So 6 times 2, 6 times 2, 6 times 3, but it's really 6 times 30. I know that 6 times 3 is 18, but it's in the tens column, so there's a 0. So I have to add a 0. So what we're saying is I have 6 times 30, which is 180. And you know that's true because if you did some repeated addition or skip counting, the number 30 6 times will get you to 180. And then finally, you multiply the 6 times the 9. Well, there's 6 times 9, but it's really 900 because it's in the hundreds place value. I know that 6 times 9 is 54, but I can't forget my zeros because if I multiply by a number in the hundreds column, I know that that's, sorry, the hundreds place value, there are 2 extra zeros that go along with that. So now that I found all my partial products, I just need to add them together. So you take your 5,400, and then you add your 180, and then you add your 12, and you'll get your final product. So there's 2, 9, 5, and 5. So 936 times 2 is, let me see again, 5,592. And that's my final product. Okay, so I think that's it. I'm going to leave it here. Please keep a lookout also for a tutorial that will help you with the multiplication portfolio, Sandy's Sandwich Shop. That's going to be due, I believe, early or mid to late next week. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to me or your homeroom teacher. And yeah, thank you for watching.